My wife pushed my hand away in bed and said, "Don't touch me. I have self-respect." The next morning, she demanded something from me like nothing ever happened, so I gave her the exact same answer she gave me, except my version had consequences she never saw coming. I never thought a marriage could unravel quietly, like slow drips behind the ceiling until the plaster caves in. But that's exactly how mine fell apart. My name is Ethan, 38, operations manager at a logistics firm in Denver. I make good money, around $92,000 last year. I never cheated, never gambled, never did anything reckless or cruel. I married Lena because I thought she was my partner, my equal, my home. Somewhere after year 4, she became someone I didn't recognize. It didn't happen in a single explosion of drama. It happened like frost, a thin layer one day, thicker the next, until everything warm between us froze solid. Lena had always been social, but suddenly she was immersed in her friend group, specifically one woman named Kara. Kara had gone through a nasty breakup and seemed dedicated to convincing every woman in her orbit that men were the root of all disappointment. She wasn't subtle about it either. At first, it was just Lena repeating little phrases. "You don't appreciate emotional labor. Men expect too much." Then it escalated. "You should be grateful I put up with certain things." Certain things? I cooked half the meals, paid most of the bills, and remembered every anniversary and birthday down to the hour. But apparently, my existence had become some burden she heroically endured. The intimacy faded next, not just physical, but emotional. She'd come to bed later and later, scrolling on her phone until I fell asleep. The nights we used to curl up and talk about our days became silent miles between us. Then came the night everything shifted. It was a Thursday, boring, normal, forgettable, until it wasn't. I had just gotten promoted, a big deal, a raise, real validation after years of grinding. I came home excited to tell her. She was on the couch, laptop open, barely glancing up. "That's good," she muttered when I told her. Good? Just good? 4 years ago, she would have jumped into my arms. Later that night, I sat next to her in bed. Not even that close, just close enough to feel like we were still married. After a moment, I reached out and gently touched her hip over the blanket. She recoiled like an electrical shock hit her. "Don't touch me," she snapped. Then, with icy emphasis, "I have self-respect." It was said like a punch, as if my hand on my own wife's hip was degrading to her, as if any affection coming from me was theft. I didn't argue, didn't yell, but something inside me hollowed out. I slept on the couch. She was cheerful the next day, smiling, humming while making coffee, like she had no memory of the previous evening. Then she said it casually, like asking for a napkin. "Can you transfer me $300? Kara and I want to go shopping later." I stared at her. The entitlement, the expectation, the complete disregard for what she'd said the night before. "No," I said. She blinked, confused at first, then affronted. "What do you mean, no?" I set my mug down and looked her directly in the eye. I have self-respect too. The kitchen went silent. The coffee machine clicked off. She froze as if I'd spoken in another language. Her face twisted, shock, anger, disbelief, then something colder. "You're being controlling," she hissed. "No, I'm done paying for someone who treats me like I'm beneath them." She stormed out, slammed the bedroom door so hard a picture frame rattled off the wall. That was the moment I realized I was done playing the accommodating husband in a one-sided marriage. I went to my friend Tyler's place that night for our monthly board game hangout. 5 of us, beers on the table, cards scattered everywhere, normal, relaxing. Until Lena showed up. Not knocking, not calling, just walking in like she owned the place. She burst into the living room with Kara behind her like backup muscle. "We need to talk," Lena said loudly, trying to control the entire room. "No, we don't," I said calmly. "I'll talk to you at home." "That's not good enough," she shouted, voice cracking. Right there, front row seats for all my friends. She started ranting about how I was emotionally abandoning her, how I'd financially manipulated her by not giving her shopping money, how I was avoiding confrontation like a child. My friends looked anywhere but at her. When she finally paused, red-faced and panting, I stood up. "I'm leaving," I said. "You can stay here and finish your performance or go home. Either way, I'm done being yelled at." Kara muttered something under her breath about typical male deflection. I walked out, didn't look back. The next 3 weeks were hell. Constant calls, passive-aggressive texts, arguments waiting for me every night. She started involving her mother, who, unsurprisingly, fully supported the "how dare you say no to my daughter" narrative. I moved into the guest room, stopped engaging beyond necessary conversations. She tried being sweet one day, hostile the next. Nothing worked because I didn't care anymore. The part of me that kept the marriage alive was dead. The breaking point came at her cousin's engagement dinner. We were all seated at this nice Italian place. Everyone was dressed up. Candlelight, wine glasses, soft music. And Lena decided it was the perfect time to bring up our marital issues publicly. "I just don't feel supported," she announced to the entire table while twirling pasta she wasn't eating. Her mom nodded vigorously. Her aunt gave me a pitying look. I stayed quiet until she said, "Ethan refuses to connect with me emotionally or physically." That did it. I put my napkin down. "Lena," I said evenly, "you told me not to touch you because you have self-respect, remember?" Silence. Her cousin's fiance choked on a breadstick. I excused myself and left the restaurant. I think I walked 4 miles that night. That weekend, I found a lawyer. By Monday afternoon, I had a consultation scheduled. By Friday, I had a list of documents together. By the next week, I had toured 3 apartments. Lena barely noticed I was gone half the time. Her world revolved around Kara, her mother, and her narratives about how cruelly I treated her by refusing to bankroll her social calendar. I moved things out slowly. Clothes, my computer, important files. Every box I carried out felt like oxygen after months underwater. I had the summons delivered on a Wednesday morning. She called 14 times, then 27, then showed up at my workplace demanding to see me. Security had to escort her out. Her texts went from furious to pleading to manipulative to poetic, badly poetic, within hours. I didn't respond. My lawyer told me I did everything right. Quiet, prepared, documented. 2 months later, right when things seemed to settle, she made her worst decision yet. I was staying at a cabin owned by my friend's family. Off-grid, peaceful, quiet. I needed the break. At 10 p.m., a car screeched into the gravel driveway. It was Lena. Drunk, hair messy, crying, stumbling toward me saying, "You can't just erase me." Before I could stop her, she tripped on a rock and went face first into the bushes. Not dangerous, not life-threatening, but humiliating. I guided her to the steps, gave her water, called a rideshare service that cost a fortune to reach that remote area. She sobbed the entire time. "Kara was wrong. My mom was wrong. Please don't let me go." I didn't say much. There was nothing left to say. A witness, one of the cabin's caretakers, gave a statement later saying Lena was aggressively intoxicated and harassing me. My lawyer said it made the divorce smoother. We finalized everything in October. 50-50 split. No alimony. No drama left to squeeze out. Lena moved into an apartment with Kara. She posts inspirational quotes on Instagram about rising above negativity. Her mother still emails me occasionally telling me I destroyed my future. I delete them all. My life now? Peaceful. My new apartment is small but bright. I go hiking twice a week. I read again. I sleep deeply, without tension, without waiting for the next argument to explode. Friends say I look lighter, freer, more myself. They're right. I didn't leave because I stopped loving her. I left because I finally remembered to love myself. Some people weaponize the word self-respect. Others quietly practice it. I learned the difference the day I said no.